Actually, I could turn you down. Hold on, let me turn you down. But keep talking for a second. Let me
You
find the
can't
right
hear
level.
me one week and then it's too loud the
No,
next.
no, you sound too good right now. You
I'd
sound
rather
too.
I'd rather be too loud, my man.
Yeah. Go for it. Keep talking real quick and let me find your levels.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. Mike
You still keep
Tyson.
talking, dude.
Mike Tyson is everything
Okay, gotcha.
American. He's a great American success story.
Without
And
being a Mattercone.
Without being a what?
A Mattercone. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny the way the word Mattercone is kind of tied to American. I wonder if they did that shit on purpose.
Yeah.
Do you know what Mattercone is? Yeah,
faggot?
Well, maybe somebody well, nowadays we say that that's somebody who is misunderstood and just normal. You're actually wrong if you don't like cock. If you're a man, then you're a bigot, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Actually,
well, I don't have any problem with another man that likes cock.
I prefer all men to like cock, except for me. I would like to be the only man that I would like all my friends and everybody around me to love cock, except for me. That would be the ideal world. So I don't know what type of.
With you?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I could have one person I could talk to about non-cock related things. But speaking of cock, we actually have a guest. We have a guest, a very, very, very esteemed guest.
You didn't tell me about this. What's going on?
No, this is a guest that's, again, all of our guests seem to be very prominent these days in the news, huge stories. This particular guest is in the news for like some of our guests for not so flattering things. And in this case, he was just signed by the Cleveland Browns, and he was accused of being with a lot of masseuses, whatever you want to call it.
If it's who I think it is.
Yeah, so we have a very important guest today. We have Deshaun Watson from the Cleveland Browns, newly signed from the Cleveland Browns. And let me see if I can get him on the line. It'd take me a second here. Hold on a second. Hey, Deshaun from Cleveland. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Thank you for having me.
Well, how do you like the Browns?
Oh, I love the Browns. I love the Browns a lot. I don't discriminate a bit. I also love the whites and the yellows.
I mean, the team that signed you, but okay. Are you excited about your new contract?
New contract. That's great. Did the organization finally figure out how to get these bitches to shut up?
No.
These NDAs didn't do a damn thing.
No, they tend not to. I noticed. Did you like the fans so far in Cleveland? We're trying to keep you out of trouble here.
Fans have been great. They say Cleveland is the dog pound, and it's true, man. My agent must have done this on purpose to punish me or something. I ain't even seen a single fox yet, just a whole bunch of dog pound.
Yeah, Cleveland's not known for hotties at all. Well, your O-line looks good on the bright side. Are you excited about the extra protection this year?
Man, I don't need extra protection. Why you need a Jimmy when given a hand job?
I ask myself that every single day. The team lost Jarvis Landry to the Saints, but you still have your tight end Njoku. How do you feel about your weapons going in?
Man, I have like a dozen tight ends, 24 loose ends on call biggins. Have strong hands and are good with their mouths. The big girls are good with their mouths. That's for real.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I have an idea to get this on track. Let's play a word game. I'll say a word and you fill in the gap. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So super blank.
Orgasm.
Oh,
super orgasm.
Not what I was expecting. I was looking for Super Bowl. Super Bowl was what I was looking for.
We're bulwark. She Cambodian. You say she's super. Them Cambodians are talented.
Maybe she is. All right, let's do a few more. Blank Mary. Blank Mary.
I do not recommend Mary. She runs her damn mouth claiming I forced her to give me head and then blacked out. That's racist, you know. Great PR though.
Why great PR? Why would that be good PR?
She passed out from something. Chicks will be curious to know what that something is.
Okay, let's steer you out of trouble. Let's give you some quarterback words. Okay, you ready? Quarterback. Okay. Blank side sack. Blank side sack.
Squeeze gently and hold the side sack.
What the fuck? Blind side sack is the answer we're looking for. Blind side sack.
Blind side. I never had a masseuse who couldn't see before. That sounds hot. That was a tough one though. That side sack shit works, you know.
Good tip. Real good tip.
That's what all 24 she said.
All right, damn. Okay. This is a quarterback specific question. A running play requires a hand blank. A hand blank. So you snap and hand blank.
Hand job. That's an easy one.
Fucking
How did you know I snapped my fingers, man? Big Mouth Mary tell you that shit? I snap and point at my cock. Works real well.
Holy shit. I was going to ask for hand off, but the running backs, but understand the confusion.
Hand job was wrong. You jerking my chain?
No, and apparently I'm the only one who isn't.
60% of that time, that finger snap trick works every time. Just snap and point, man.
I'll keep that in mind, Deshaun. Thank you. I'm going to give you one answer this time, just so you get it. Right? You understand? Famous sports quote. And by the way, I'm giving you the answer. Blank for the team. And this is for the win.
Win.
Right. Did you say win or win?
Yeah, the wins. All of them have the softest, teeny baby Asian hands you ever felt. They work as a team. That's the best team right there. When they put those little tiny hands on you, it's like a magic trick, especially great grandma Win.
Oh, Lord.
I'll be back in Houston week 13, great grandma Win. Tell the family I'm coming.
Sounds like a lovely family. And thanks for your time, Deshaun. What can we expect from you after week 11 when you're reinstated?
I'm going to come back loose, relaxed, ready to ball out, so to speak.
I have zero doubt about that. Any final words to the massage therapists that have accused you of atrocities?
Yeah, I accept your apologies, bitches, and look forward to seeing each of you again on my trip to Houston. Less of my name in your mouth and maybe a little bit more of me in those beautiful mouths of yours.
Doubling down, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 masseuses are better than 1, my friend.
Well, that's just...
In general, these bitches need to be more like great grandma Win. She's 90 and can't even say brack out.
All right. She sounds lovely and wise. Good luck and hope you have a great season. Good luck with the ugly girls in Cleveland.
Okay, thank you. They won't.
All right. Have a good one. All right, Jimmy, we've hit new lows here on the thing. Overall, I think that was a happy ending there with
that guy's mind is really in the gutter.
He's just all about getting jerked off, apparently. There is actually some pretty funny stuff about Mr. Watson, Mr. Randy Watson. Do you know where that's from?
Coming to America.
Yes, it is. Good for you. One of the girls I was reading, in my extensive research going into this, I kept this out of here, but he likes to have women, apparently, according to the alleged victims, because we're, again, completely against this type of behavior. But he liked to have the women massage in between they always, in the New York Times, in between his balls and his butthole. And for some reason, they don't use the word taint. They're like against using the word taint, and occasionally, some fingers in his asshole, according to one. But
really,
now one of the girls that was referenced in there, this is her take, the blackout take. So she said he and I quote, coerced and intimidated by Watson to, quote, move her mouth towards his penis, forcing the plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. Plaintiff did not consent to any of this conduct. Plaintiff blacked out for a few minutes from fear. I mean, so she blew him and doesn't remember and doesn't want any culpability for it, but sure would like that monetary payment. I'm saying...
Sure she would.
I don't know that that's the best example of what he may or may not have done. But when I read that, I was like, whenever you use blacked out for giving a blowjob during one of these situations, that's maybe not your strongest candidate as they line
No,
up the
no.
24.
I'm sure
But either way,
there's some opportunists behind this a little bit, I'm sure.
a couple. I mean, but the opportunists ruin it for the real ones, right? So we'll never know the truth. Only Deshaun and his many massage therapists know the truth.
Taint is such a good word.
It really is, isn't it?
That's another one I forgot about. Twat and taint, and there was a few other ones we were talking about last show. I'm going to put taint in there.
It's tough to use taint in a derogatory word sentence about a friend. You know what I mean? So it doesn't get used a whole lot, but when it comes up, it's usually in a very specific medical meaning of, somebody's playing with your taint.
Yeah.
So that brings us into our let's shoot through the NFL season's coming on. Let's just at least brush upon the NFL season a little bit. We've talked about the NFC East. Who do you think is going to win the NFC East and why? And then we'll brush through the rest of the divisions. Let's at least put our predictions out so that we can come back at the end of the year and see how we did and mock the person who did more poorly than the other, like all good friends do.
I'm not going to go with the Eagles to win it. I'm going to go with the Redskins.
Well, that is mildly retarded of you, and I admire that. I really do. I'm going with the Eagles in the NFC East. I think the Redskins are dog shit. Their best running back was just shot in Washington, D.C.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring that up to Deshaun and get his comments, but I guess is he off the line now?
Yeah, he's off. He'll be back though. He had fun. You could tell he had a blast.
Yeah. I just the NFC East is I think it's dog shit anyway. And I just think that I think that what the Redskins will do, they'll come out fast. They'll probably win 5 of their first 8 games. I'm calling that.
I think they lose their very first game. They're favored to the Jacksonville Jaguars by 5 points. I think they're going to blow it. I think they're going to lose week 1 and bring the franchise back to the screeching halt that they are.
Let's make a small wager on that with no point spread. I think they're going to win. I definitely do.
Well, I mean, it's with no point spread, you've got a massive advantage.
No,
I'm just saying the Redskins, the franchise, and you know this, they have a tendency to lose to who they are favored to win, and they occasionally pull a Hail Mary out of their ass, although Mary apparently has a big mouth, out of their ass to win games that they have no business, or compete in games for which they have no business being in.
Right.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
They'll come in and beat somebody. It's like they beat Brady last year and then they shit the bed the next game.
Correct. They'll come in and beat a world champion team, and then they'll come back against the worst team in the league and lose by 10 points. And you're like, well, what happened? And maybe it's, the fact that Washington, D.C. is a cesspool now of crime. But the fact it's a snake-bitten franchise with an owner who's a creepy little toad. And the franchise, they're snake-bitten the fact that they finally got a running back that can take it between the tackles and not fumble. And they've already got the guy shot in broad 6 p.m. 2 times.
So he was in Northwest. I don't know DC real well.
I know DC super well. He was in a nice area at a nice place. I know that area. I've been right on H Street, right in that area a lot. I basically spent a good portion of my life in Northwest.
So it's bad luck. It's bad luck.
No, it's not bad luck. DC's been run into the ground by the current administration that's in charge there. They decriminalized everything. So now criminals are running the street. They know there's no consequences. It's just like having a child. If you have no consequences for your bad behavior, it just keeps accelerating. And now the criminals from DC are going into Virginia, carjacking cars and shooting back to DC where they know they're safe. It's a real problem. And it's all run by the same mayor that painted Black Lives Matter across the streets to showcase just how much she cared about Black lives, except the ones being killed by her policies. So I'm moving on to other things with the football because that's nothing. We're not going to solve that here.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with football.
It has nothing to do with football. The Cowboys would be my second guess. The Redskins and the Giants in the cellar. You may disagree. You have the Redskins up top. How do you think the rest of the division? Who do you think comes in last?
I mean, I'm trying to throw a Hail Mary with the Redskins. I know the Redskins are not going to win.
We've thrown a lot of Hail Marys here today already, which is pretty impressive as a religious show that we have here.
Right.
Yes.
I don't think the Redskins are winning. I really do think it's a fairly open division. I know that the Eagles are favored, but
would you stop waffling and being a pussy and fucking take a position for Christ's fucking sake?
The fucking Redskins are gonna win the division.
You just want to say that so you can send it to your client. I had your back, bitch.
Eagles are gonna come in second. Dallas is gonna come in third.
The Giants will be bringing up the bottom. They do have Saquon back. Saquon Barkley is back at least until he gets hurt in the first couple of snaps of the game.
Are you aware of the boxing connection with Saquon Barkley?
No, tell me about it.
Okay. Uncle, I think is his uncle, is Iran Barkley, the man that knocked out Thomas
Are you
Hearns.
serious? I know. Of course I know Iran Barkley. I had no idea.
Yes.
Okay. Does Saquon box?
Nope. That's it.
So he's just a phenomenal athlete. Where was Iran Barkley from?
I got no idea.
It's weird, right? Because I always just heard the word Iran and thought that the fucker was probably not from here. I was like,
no,
talk about having a terrible first name. But
he's a New York guy. He's something like New York guy.
He's a phenomenal boxer, man. Iran Barkley's very underrated.
Always a really, really nice guy. The last time I saw him, there was something wrong. He was real nasty, like to everybody. He was just in a shit mood.
I mean, it happens. We all have bad days, man.
Oh yeah.
I would say probably just like Deshaun Watson, he ran into some woman problems. Maybe a little different. Maybe the
could
same.
Be.
Maybe
could
the
be.
same. Could be. All right. So we have our NFC East under control, at least as far as we can here on this incredibly professional podcast that we have. Let's move to what division do you want to go to? The AFC? You want to stick with the NFC?
No, let's do AFC.
Which division?
Where are the Bills at? Where are the Bills at?
What are you talking about?
The Bills are in the AFC.
Yeah, they are in the AFC.
The
Bills are in the AFC East. The Bills are the AFC East. What do you think? You're going to go with the Bills? So the Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets are in the AFC East.
Yeah. Go with the Bills.
And I think both of us have to. That team is loaded. I mean, they're loaded on both sides of the ball. They have a great tight end. Well, upper tier tight end with Dawson Knox. They just cut OJ Howard, who was a first round draft pick at tight end. So they feel pretty good about the young guys behind them. There's obviously they've got the quarterbacks, wide receivers, Davis. They've got all the weapons there. Running back, not that great, but they've got three guys. And you know who they got? They actually got Dalvin Cook's brother now as a rookie. So if James, well, he's a rookie. He hasn't had a chance to yet, but he's highly thought of.
Yeah.
A lot of people think he might end up taking over, but they had two other young guys there anyway. So, I mean, they just cut. Actually, the Bills just cut Blackshear and somebody else in the preseason that were lighting it up. So their backfield, they were 6 deep at running back with guys that were lighting it up. So the Bills should run away with that division. I think the Dolphins are a dark horse, though. The Dolphins have and so are the Jets. So the Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets. So keep in mind the Patriots had a quarterback last year who had just stepped in from Alabama. He was a rookie, came in, played really, really well. They don't really have a lot around him, although they have running backs, but they have a defense around him. If he improves even a little bit, the Patriots should improve. The Dolphins got like so many first round draft choices. They're now they basically traded their entire team a few years ago, everybody good for future picks, and their team got better after they got rid of everybody, which was bizarre.
I still put them in the rebuilding phase.
I don't. So they've got Hill from Kansas City, the fastest wide receiver in the NFL. Okay. On one side. On the other side, they had Waddle, who had over 1,000 yards from Alabama and was the best rookie wide receiver, one of the best rookie wide receivers in history. Jefferson, Waddle, he was blowing up the league. So now they've got 2 number 1 wide receivers. They've got Goluski or whatever the fuck his name is at tight end.
Is that a white boy, Waddle?
No. Definitely not a white boy.
Remember Tom Waddle?
Yeah, I do. I remember. Yeah, Waddle. Yeah, they're related, but distantly related. They're separate parts of the family tree, but it would be pretty cool if they were, right?
Right.
But Waddle is just lights people up. And then at running back, they have Mostert, who came from San Francisco, who's probably not even the starter, but Mostert runs like a 4.34. So when you think about Hill, Waddle, and Mostert, you're looking at 3 of the fastest players in the NFL with Tua at quarterback. And there's a lot of doubts as to whether Tua can get the ball to Waddle, because Waddle's that fast and, he's not playing with Mahomes anymore. But if there was a beautiful 50-some yard connection between the two of them, people don't realize Tua throws a beautiful mid to deep range ball. If you go look at his Alabama tape before he fucked up his hip, the Dolphins could be a very good dark horse. And then you have the Jets that are starting to put together a collection of young players. I think the Jets just don't have the quarterback, but they have skill players coming out the asshole in that. I think the Patriots are going to finish in dead last place in that division.
Well, isn't that the quarterback that's having a women problem already?
Who?
Who's the quarterback for the Jets?
Now it's Flacco is going to start the season, but the main man who was hitting on all the chicks, right. He's out. He's hurt.
He's already hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt in the preseason. He'll be out for a couple weeks. So moving on to the AFC. So we both have the Bills. I have the Dolphins as a sleeper, but I think this is going to be the first year the Patriots finish in last place or fight with the Jets to finish in last place in the division, which is.
I'm going Jets. Jets are last because they're always last because they're the fucking Jets.
They were 4-10 last year. The Jets own the Dallas Cowboys for some odd reason.
Yeah, that's weird how that happens in sports. Somebody just gets your number.
Yeah, maybe Dallas has a hard time getting it up for it, unlike our guest today for a massage therapist. Okay, so AFC North. We have the Ravens, the Browns that we were talking about with Deshaun Watson, the Steelers, and the Bengals. It's a completely different division than last year, although the Bengals and the Ravens probably have the most stability coming back in the league. But what do you think? What's your take on the division?
Ravens are going to compete very well, I think. I think they're going to come up short. I don't like their quarterback. Everybody loves him.
You don't like Jackson?
I just don't like it. I don't like a running.
Because he's black, you son of a whore. You is everything right?
Yeah, but besides that,
is everything racist? Jimmy doesn't like black quarterbacks.
Okay, you put me on the spot.
You hated RG3, you son of a bitch.
No, I didn't like RG3. Same. Same
Same- Mark Rippon was back in the day, though, right? Wasn't he? Mark
Same
Rippon
reason.
was the
Same
shit.
reason. Hey, Mark Rippon that's my guy.
You motherfucker! You're gonna, yeah. All right. So Jackson, you don't like, even though he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I
You
get
know who
you.
I like? I'm going to tell you who I like.
Who's-
Warren
who-
Moon,
Warren Moon.
a black quarterback that I like.
You had to go back that far to find a black quarterback
It
that
has
you like?
nothing to
That-
do with
You
black.
sound you sound like Joe Biden right now. You gonna start talking about corn pop in the middle of the field?
Byron Leftwich. Love
Yeah,
him.
Okay. Any more black quarterbacks that
The guy
stole
from the
your heart?
Panthers. The guy from the Panthers shit. Fuck. I don't know his name. There's a lot of black quarterbacks I like. I don't like the scrambling. I like a pocket passer.
You know, the
just
guy from the Panthers that you're talking about is one of the most scramblingest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL,
but he's
right?
big.
His name's Cam Newton,
Yeah, Cam Newton.
and he scrambled his tits off for most of his career. You don't like quarterbacks that move. You know, Fran Tarkenton moved. Did you like Fran Tarkenton? You
I
know,
didn't
Brett
like
Favre
Fran
ran all over the field.
I
bet
don't
you
like
loved
Brett Favre. I don't like Brett
lying
Favre.
motherfucker. You are
You're
so
a
full-of-shit. You
Why the
love
fuck
Brett
would I
Favre.
tell you I
You
don't like
cracker
somebody? if I
ass,
like-
cracker sandwich. You
Why
cracker
would I
ass
tell you
cracker.
I like them if I don't?
Fran Tarkenton and Brett Favre were you probably had posters. You probably jerked off to
Oh,
posters of Brett
bullshit.
Favre. No? Okay.
Bullshit.
Well,
No,
whatever.
I'm not.
Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite quarterback of all time? If you say Joe Montana, I'm going to leave you alone because he was slow, white, and could barely fucking move.
I mean, I
Dan
would
Marino,
now that you say. I mean, I was gonna say that, but I'm not
or
gonna say
Dan
it now.
Marino, or Tom Brady. To be honest,
Fuck it.
Tom Brady doesn't move.
Gotta go with Tom. Tom's my favorite quarterback. Marino is unbelievable.
You like quarterbacks that are cerebral and immobile. Yeah, I get you. Okay.
I mean, personally, I'm not talking about how good they were, but I like Joe Theismann. I was a big Joe Theismann fan.
So you were upset by my Joe Theismann throwing darts at his face story, probably.
I was there when he got hurt.
Yeah. Joe was really nice to me. I was kind of an asshole as a kid to him, so I can go for that. A very charming guy, very professional.
Yeah.
I mean, he was professionally polished as a nice guy. He was kissing babies. I just happened to be
last time I saw him, he was in a post office. We were the only two guys there, and he was just crushing this poor woman who wasn't getting his whatever. He had a problem. Something was wrong with what she was doing, and he was just ripping her ass.
I like the way we started NFL thing, and you have to crush your favorite quarterback and leave on a note with him yelling at a poor USPS employee.
I lost a little respect for him.
Do you know who wouldn't do that? Is the great Randall Cunningham. And if you weren't so,
one of my absolute favorites. Love Randall Cunningham.
A monster. But so we accomplished nothing in the AFC East. Actually, I'm sorry, we accomplished nothing in the AFC North so far.
And who did we pick?
Winning. So I have
the Browns.
Okay. I have the Bengals winning with the Ravens number 2, jostling for second. The Browns will come in last place. Deshaun Watson doesn't come back till week 12, 13, really.
I think you're right about that. I think yes, I think that Bengals Browns is going to be 1-2, but I'm not a pussy like you, so I'm not going to just pick the sure thing.
Well, you know what I'm excited to watch though with the Steelers is they have. So did you ever watch Hines Ward play by chance?
Absolutely.
Hines Ward is my favorite wide receiver of all time because he's the angriest fucking wide receiver that's ever played the game.
But always smiling.
Such a great block. He was a quarterback at Georgia. So Hines Ward was a quarterback at Georgia that came in by the Steelers, and they created crackback rules as a result of Hines Ward's play, of his blocking. So the
Right.
Steelers drafted Hines Ward 2.0. Well, I won't say 2.0 because that's a big thing, but they drafted his clone with George Pickens. Do you know about George Pickens?
I don't know George Pickens.
George Pickens is a monster menace. He's just a brutal. He's a bully. He's just a
Receiver.
bully. He's a receiver, and he's super fucking talented, but he's a bully on the field, and he just degrades people. So I pulled this up. I haven't watched this video, so I don't know how good the quality is, but at least you'll see. Boom. Did you see at the top?
Love it.
Just
Look at that.
12 Beats Production.
just see at the bottom of the screen there.
Love it. Yep.
Look at it's at the bottom. Boom. Just pushes the guy 6 yards back. He just bullies people. So there he is at the bottom on the screen, lined up with a wide receiver. The squad just pushes him on his ass. He's doing it at the NFL level right now to everybody.
What is
So
that? Clemson?
This is in the preseason right here. This is the Detroit Lions. Watch. Boom. Same thing. Here it is. Boom. That's against wait a second. That's against the Seattle Seahawks. So he's doing it. It's not just at the, it'd be one thing if you were doing it at Clemson only. So he's coming to the NFL and just started crushing people. And it's fun to watch. He's an angry young man, and he's going to be a problem.
I haven't seen that consistently. That move, that's pretty cool. That's almost like a move they're going to have to make a rule for.
The block, don't block people rule. Yeah. So let's move on through the AFC South. This is a division that you may or may not. It's Deshaun's last team, the one that was getting him non-disclosures with massage therapists.
Right.
He had apparently 63 in a couple months. He's a very loose and relaxed young man, and helped him to get a $100 million+ contract. The Texans, you have the Jaguars, you have the Indianapolis Colts, and you have the Titans. So this division to me is interesting for two reasons. You have the two best running backs, arguably, in football, as far as just pure between the tackles running the balls, with Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry,
Right.
with the Titans and the Colts, against two teams that have really become sad doormats in a way. Remember when the Jaguars defense was flat nasty like 4 or 5 years ago? They were one of the best defenses in the league. I don't know what happened to that squad, but they just hit the shits. But they drafted Sunshine last year from Clemson. I call him Sunshine because he has long flowing hair. It's his second year in the league. We're expecting some jumps. Their other pick, Travis Etienne, is back full at running back. The Jaguars should be better, but they're still going to be doormats. The Texans should finish last, in my opinion. Who do you like to finish on top in that division?
God, it's
Last year was the Titans. And Titans are loaded again this year. They did lose Julio Jones.
I'm gonna pick the Titans because I like Derrick Henry. God, it's such a dog shit division. It's like a big floppy cock.
Well, Ryan Tannehill at Titans quarterback is, I think he's going to be replaced by Malik Willis, who is a superstar in the league. Do you know who Malik Willis is? Do you know that?
No, in the making, superstar in the making.
He's going to be a superstar in the league. Let me play you a little Malik Willis. So I've been following Malik since high school because he originally signed with Virginia Tech and Tennessee. And I've followed him literally. I've watched all of his shit. And he ended up at Liberty, which really just fucking drives me nuts. But here's a little bit with Malik.
High motor gives it.
Here, I'll just turn that down, let you. So there he is, number 7. Screen pass, who gives a shit? They'll show the running plays and stuff soon. But Tannehill's just not the guy. When you have Derrick Henry and you have that defense, if you have an explosive playmaker at quarterback, it changes everything for the Titans. Because right now the Titans are pretty fucking boring. Even, Derrick Henry's a big plotting monster of a back. That's a boring division, Jimmy. It really is a boring division. But watch Malik here. You'll start to see a little bit, and you hate scrambling black quarterbacks, but he looks great. He's big, strong, powerful, 215 pounds, mostly muscle, but he can sling it too. He'll sit in the pocket and just fucking look at that, launch it. So there's chances. He was dominating in the preseason. Yeah, he was doing that. Were you able to see that or no?
No.
Oh, well, shit. Doesn't really help much if I. Let me see if I can figure this out. Oh, and I think I turned you down. All right. Let me see if I can fake. We had technical.
6-yard loss on the sack puts the Titans in a 3rd and 14. Willis pulls down a high snap.
I hope you're excited about watching this without seeing it.
Jimmy's microphone's good now, but Beans keeps fucking up the clips they're showing.
Well. Okay. And I'm the technical professional on the show, which shows you how great things are on this show.
I'll send you a microphone.
Yeah, send me a microphone. So either way, Willis is he kind of is Vic-esque. He's everything you hate in a quarterback. So, but he has like a 70-yard cannon on him. The Titans are so boring. They need something to make them watchable. And I think with Derrick Henry, who's a big, giant plotting monster, and Malik Willis, that's a team that can do some shit. Other than that, I mean, you look at that division, man, you almost have to pay people to watch like a Texans Jaguars game. I mean, they should actually like compensate you for watching that game.
It's awful. It's awful.
The Colts, now the Colts have Matt Ryan, slow, immobile, boring ass. He was really exciting in college. He used to be able to, Matty Ice. Now he's an old man. You know what I mean? Like it's like Ben Roethlisberger fell apart. He used to be real athletic. Matty Ice was never that athletic. Now he's with the Colts. Talk about a boring fucking division. And in the meantime, though, the Colts and the Titans have that type of team that can really win in cold weather because they both have the running game. Yeah. So even though we hate that division, as far as watching it, both of those teams could come out of that division and cause issues in the playoffs.
That running game is like the jab. You know what I mean?
It really is.
It's methodical and it just grinds you down. It's as basic as you get, but it wins football games.
It does. And the Colts were winning with Jacoby Brissett and just throwing screen passes and handing it off, throwing screen passes, handing it off. Right. Now they have Matt Ryan. They actually have weapons. I mean, they have, who knows if they're going to perform, but they have some fast wide receivers that have mostly been hurt and some rookies.
They just grind you down and they play, they run the clock down. 2, 3 8-minute drives, put some points on the board. I mean, it's really it's almost unbeatable.
So who's your pick? Titans? You have the Titans? Okay.
Titans.
I have the Colts coming out of there. I think with Matt Ryan, the Colts are going to find a way to be able to win that division unless Malik Willis takes over the position there. The Titans might win the Super Bowl, although it's tough to do with a rookie. So it's pretty ridiculous to say that. But I like the Colts to win that division, to take a hard stance. The Titans will be in second. They'll be in the playoffs, but they'll be in second. So moving on to the AFC West, the West. Patrick Mahomes division. This is actually a fun division to watch.
Right.
You have the Chiefs. You have the Raiders, who now have Devontae Adams. You have the Chargers. and you have the Broncos who have a brand new quarterback. This is a hot division, by the way. This division is going to be fire.
Right.
Now have Russell Wilson moved from Seattle to finally fill in the gap of shitty quarterback play for the Denver franchise. And all these teams are better, and they're all capable of putting up points. So
Right.
This is the toughest one to pick for me, but what do you got?
Say them all again.
Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos.
Can't go with the Raiders. I'm going to go with the Chiefs because I like Mahomes. Because I like scrambling quarterbacks.
Oh, you do now. You're taking a whole new tack. I appreciate your saying that. I'm going to go with the San Diego Chargers, who blow it every fucking year, who've sucked so much football cock in and ruined their fans and hurt their fans so many times. I finally think that this team actually has what it takes to be able to pull it off. Justin Herbert is Herbert, whatever the hell you say his name, is a phenom at quarterback.
Yeah.
He really, by the way, every single quarterback in this league, including Derek Carr, are incredible quarterbacks. Carr
We have so many great young quarterbacks. It reminds me of 1985.
Yeah, you took Mahomes, Herbert, Jackson,
The guy from
the
Josh from the Bills.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Eagles quarterback.
You know who doesn't have a quarterback?
Jalen Hurts. Who? The Commanders. The Commanders.
The Washington Redskins. The Washington
Redskins don't have.
They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. They really don't. Okay, so we're moving on to the NFC. Back to the NFC. Ping pong. All right. So you have in that division, you have the Chiefs. I have the Chargers. I think you're the odds-on favorite. I'm taking the upset there. NFC North, the Packers, the Vikings, the Bears, the Lions. Not as much firepower as in.
You just read it. You just read it the way it's going to go.
You think?
Yep.
Okay, so you have the Packers. Man, it's tough for me to go against Aaron Rodgers. It's tough for me to go against AR. I hated this guy, like legitimately disliked him for so long until his stance on vaccines. And
Right.
You know, I just liked him so much better after not caving to what was obviously a bunch of horseshit. We're allowed to say that now. So you may or may not know this. YouTube has removed the vaccine stuff. We actually got censored. Our show almost got removed from YouTube for strikes against masks and vaccines in the past. We are now allowed to openly talk about it because it turns out that this show was among the few that was actually correct on what was happening in the world. They've reversed course temporarily for the election and will be soon ready to be banned again in the near future. However, for the time being, we are, able to actually say Aaron Rodgers was right about the vaccines. The news media, the powers that be, the CDC, the NIH, and a bunch of people were wrong.
I heard he's gone. Am I correct? He has endorsed playing on mushrooms. Is that true?
No, not even close. He said that ayahuasca made him whatever the hell it is, made him a better person, which made him a better player. Do you know what that is? You know what ayahuasca is? Or what ayahuasca? I don't know.
Mushrooms?
No,
Okay.
that's citrus silent.
What the fuck am I thinking about mushrooms?
Because it falls under hallucinogenics, but it's not it's not the same thing. So citrusylene and ayahuasca are two different things. I've done mushrooms many times. Matter of fact, I got married because of mushrooms the first time. Ayahuasca or ayahuasca, whatever it is, I've never done that, but people who have, and I've listened to a lot, and I know people who do ceremonies. Apparently, the big thing that happens, you feel like you die in a lot of ways, and you feel like you're reborn with no ego. That seems to be sort of a common theme. Now, there's a lot of, elves and other things you see, but it makes you come back a better person, because the ego is built as a human nature thing to fuck with you. The ego makes you do a lot of dumb shit in the boxing ring. You were all ego in the boxing ring. I mean,
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. When I smoke marijuana, what you just described is like my ego goes out the door. I'm brutally honest, as as honest as I can be about myself and the people around me. It's a great feeling. I'm gonna try some of that Toscawana.
it's a real ayahuasca. So it's a real ceremonious thing. I mean, you actually have to cleanse your body before, I have a friend who's actually traveling down to the Amazon. He's going through a like 30-day cleanse of not eating anything but no meats, nothing with toxins. And he's going to lick like a toad and do all sorts of stuff to go through. He's died like 50, he does this shit a lot. And the long story short, it's just supposed to make you sort of not think of yourself. You realize how you're connected to everything else in the world, connected to everybody else in the world, and how you aren't quite so important.
Right.
And that's a good thing, because at the end of the day, why is everyone so uptight about dying in life? You're always worried about you. What how much money am I gonna have? How am I gonna pay these bills? What's gonna happen here? At the end of the day, a little bit less you helps you connect better with other people.
I love that.
So he's Aaron Rodgers claimed that his use of ayahuasca helped him to actually become, helped him win a couple of MVP titles. And I believe it, man. I mean, it kind of does that. If you can shake out all the media, dust out all the shit that doesn't matter, tune into the things that do matter, and focus on those. Matter of fact, there's a strong case to be made that if more people did microdosing and a little bit of psychedelics, it does help you connect a little better, that the world might be a better place. But I'm not going to make that case here on the podcast, although I just did.
Interesting.
So let's move on. So who do you like in that division? Packers. You like the Packers?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Vikings. The Vikings are changing up their offense this year. They're going with a more pass offense. I think Jefferson and Adam Thielen is the greatest white wide receiver we've seen in pause.
Steve Largent.
No, well, he's better than Steve Largent. Fuck Steve Largent. Steve Largent. Bullshit.
I'm just fucking.
Bullshit,
I'm
Steve
thinking
Largent.
of white receivers, asshole. There's only one.
No, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. You had all those slot wide receivers.
I was being sarcastic.
For Brady. I mean, all the other white wide receivers that are great played with Tom Brady. all of them.
Yeah, but that's
Brady
tight
like
end.
lined up the best wide.
That's more tight ends.
No, wide receivers, dude. Brady's wide receiver. He had the cat from Texas Tech that was so good. He had the guy that just retired that was Pro Bowl over and over again. Let me pull up best. Let me Google this for the show. Best white wide receivers.
Is it racist?
Few of them. Only if you say white wide receivers are terrible or slow and not as good as black wide receivers.
That can't be racist.
That would be racist, because then you'd be racist against white wide receivers.
You can't do that.
Best white. Is everything racist? White wide receivers. 25 best white wide receivers. That's a tough word to say. White wide receivers. That's not.
Let's do 10. Do 10.
Of course. I'm not going to read off 25. Okay. Steve Largent, number fucking 3. Come on. I don't even know these fucking top 5.
Where's he at?
Bullshit.
Is he 10?
Well, let me go to Tom Brady. Wes Welker played with Tom Brady. Okay. Wes Welker. Remember him? No,
Yes.
he played for Denver too, but he did play with Tom Brady. Man, some of these names are so old that literally Ed McCaffrey, played with Denver.
Yeah.
Wayne Corbett with the
Yeah.
Jets.
Wait, where's
Um,
Wayne Corbett on that list? Are you serious?
He's number 18. No, he's number 17. Wayne Corbett. That's how bad the white Ricky Prohl from the
St. Louis Cardinals.
Cardinals. Joe Jaravicius. This is how bad it is.
Jesus
Jordy
Christ.
Nelson. Jordy Nelson was pretty good. Brandon Stokely. Eric Decker. This is how pathetic this list is.
I heard Brandon Stokely was a Raven, and I think he had 1 point for a second. He was the fastest man in the NFL.
Oh, bullshit. White
telling you.
lies. White lies.
Fucking
White
Google
lies.
it.
I don't believe a single bit of that. You Google that shit. That's a lie. There's no chance. There's zero chance that Brandon Stokely was one of the fastest people. How dare you?
Bet it.
Bet
it.
Huh?
Bet it.
Oh, Brandon Stokely? Come on,
Yeah.
dude. His cracker ass couldn't move.
He was the
Maybe in
fastest
a
man.
100 meter.
He was the
maybe-
fastest man on the Ravens.
Maybe if you were running from other black people that were trying to get him, you could run extra gear. The racist Brandon Stokely.
This is taking a turn straight into the gutter. If you're gonna make
That's what
fun
I'm
of white
trying to
people,
listen. I'm trying to keep this show alive. So Wes Welker for Tom Brady. Julian Edelman was the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman. Danny Abendella. I'm telling you, all of the great, pretty much every white wide receiver worth of shit has caught passes from the GOAT. They really aren't good. I mean, they really aren't good at all. So the white wide receiver list is pathetically lacking.
guess what I'm gonna do? Watch what I'm gonna do.
What do you got?
I don't like white wide receivers.
Except for Adam Thielen, the guy's got game. That was the whole point. He's like the he's like the professor of basketball for the white wide receivers in the NFL.
I'm
these days.
just
You just
even
have
in
to
the
have
playing
respect
field.
for him. Do you
I'm
know who the
evening-
professor is?
I'm evening the playing field because you called me racist because I said I don't like black quarterbacks.
Do you know who the professor is in basketball?
But I love Doug Williams. No,
I just-
no. Street ball.
Oh, yeah. Well, he played with and one for a long time. But the professor, best of the professor. Let's see. He was like the nerdiest little fucker. Out of
I remember.
remember Jason Williams was badass too.
Yeah, he was badass.
But here's just so you can bring yourself up to speed on history. This is history. He was playing with hot sauce and all sorts of these cats.
What's up, Professor?
So he's the nerdiest little guy from the Northwest.
Damn. I remember that. Yeah.
But it was so N1 signed him. He
Let's not talk about that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
So the professor was they N1 did this like I think it was like 18 or 24 city thing, and the professor was the first person that came out that won. So it was a competition to see who would actually win at each level, and the professor won the first one, which means he had to win 23 other or 18 other cities to stay and get the contract. So he had a huge disadvantage by being the first. It's completely unfair. He won all of them. Like he won every city and ended up with the N1 contract, which everyone at the time thought that they were going to be, rich and famous. And by the way, the professor is still a legend in street ball, but it didn't mean shit because N1 ended up, losing money selling and just ending up whoring all the players. So all the players ended up with basically jack shit at the end of it. Nike ended up coming out with their street ball collection, and it showed that a multi-billion-dollar company could take down a little company that didn't matter a bit.
Right.
So that's what happened to the professor. I think he's still doing street ball shit, but at the end of the day, Nike came and dropped their big giant nuts on the street ball world, and that was that. So moving on. So who do you have? You have the Packers, I have the Vikings. So moving on, NFC South, Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
I'm gonna pull it out of the hat, and no, I can't.
What do you got? You were gonna say the Panthers?
No, I was gonna say the Falcons.
Okay.
Falcons
have a new quarterback. They have a wonderful quarterback. Actually, the guy's was a badass backup. Marcus Mariota is now the quarterback. But I'd like to warn you, he's black and he runs. It's not your type of
I'll go with the Bucks.
Tom Brady. I'm going to go with the Bucks too. I'm here in Tampa, but I also believe that they're the best team, and that I believe in Tom Brady. If he goes down for some reason, at that point, I got to go with the Falcons or Saints. But let's assume Tom's there. The Bucks should definitely run away with that division.
I'll go with the Bucks and the Falcons to run it up.
My dark horse are the Carolina Panthers. They have a brand new quarterback. Baker Mayfield is now the starter, but they also have a good backup. You have to have two quarterbacks to win, and they're the only team in the division with two that have started with. And that's a division, again, it's not a very strong division. The Bucks are the strongest on paper. I love the Falcons tight end. I think Pitts is a monster, but I don't know that Marcus Mariota is going to surprise people. It's really going to be a battle for that second position unless Tom Brady gets hurt. So we'll see. And then finally, to wrap up the best NFL preview in the entire country, and you'd never heard it like this before, the NFC West with the Super Bowl champion Rams, the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Cardinals. Who do you like?
49ers.
The Rams are better this year than last year. They're my favorite team. I like the Rams. I think they're going to run away with it. Turns out the Seahawks are going to be in dead last place. They
Stafford back.
Stafford's back. He's got some elbow issues, but he's back. The Cardinals are, flying based on a little midget quarterback that's like 5'2".
Rams are fucking so tough. The Cardinals will never, ever win a Super Bowl.
It's the Rams first, 49ers second, Cardinals third, Seahawks fourth for me.
Yeah, I'll go 49ers, Rams, just as a.
I like that as just to be contrarian. I like that.
Yeah, I don't want to pick the same shit as you.
Yeah, you can't pick. Well, you already blew your wad with the 49ers. I mean, you like that San Francisco shit. Dudes and Chinese food. I understand.
I don't even understand what you're saying.
Doesn't matter. All right, I think we've accomplished a lot here tonight. Anything else? So let me pee real quick. Let's go to break and let's finish round two because I have a lot to talk about other than football.